everybody. So I got the Traxxas Summit out. I'm going to do a quick video on how to get it going. This is right out of the box. And so here we go. This is going to be fairly simple. This is just how to get your Summit, or probably a lot of other Traxxas vehicles, up and running. So here we go. We're going to take the body off and we'll put that to the side. Now, of course, the Summit has two batteries, so I'm just going to do this for one side. So I'm going to open the battery doors. They're right there. And pop that open. There's our battery. So put that over here to the side. So if you saw in my previous video, I have a power supply made by Schumacher that I'm going to use here with the stock charger from Traxxas. So we'll plug that in. Plug this power supply into our power strip over there. And now we're going to come over here. Now the first step is you plug the charger in to the power supply. Now notice this is a converter, so it's converting AC to DC, 120 volts to 12 volts. And then it has, of course, this plug here for cigarette lighter adapter. So anyway, I've got that plugged in. I have a red light, meaning the charger is ready. You can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. And when I plug that in, it's going to start blinking green. Pardon me just a second. There we go. So now it's plugged in and it's blinking green. All right. So after that charges, you're going to have a solid green light. And that might take, I don't know, 30 minutes to 45 minutes to an hour. I haven't timed it exactly because I've never run the packs down completely yet. I'm kind of setting this up with you. So what you experience is what I experience. So I'm going to unplug that. Of course, the charger goes back to red. So this pack has been charged along with the other side. So I'm going to put that back in the battery tray and route our wires carefully. You want to make sure you don't pinch those wires. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a slot in the battery compartment. You want to get that wire in there so that it's not pinched, and close your battery door so you can see it's nice and loose and not being crimped by the battery door. All right, next step is we're going to grab our radio. Now I've already pre-installed the batteries, but here's our radio. Of course, we have the battery door here, so you slide that open, and I've got some copper top power there, some Duracells. So one thing I wanted to mention is typically RC manufacturers recommend the use of a alkaline battery, and they don't recommend dropping them in the floor necessarily. But the alkaline battery has a slightly higher voltage than like a NiCad battery, and so it gives you a little better power. It gives you the full recommended voltage. Typically, alkaline battery is 1.5 volts, and a NiCad battery can be down around 1.2 or 1.25 volts, in that neighborhood. So it gives you a little less power if you use the NiCad battery or nickel metal hydride. So I recommend just using alkaline batteries. They're pretty cheap if you go to Costco or somewhere like that and buy them in bulk. All right, we have our batteries installed and they're charged. Next step is we're going to hook the batteries up to the speed control. So you can see the battery leads coming out of the speed control, and here's the batteries. So of course the Traxxas Summit has two battery packs for lots of power, high voltage. And we're going to plug both of those in. All right, next step, we're going to turn the transmitter on. Of course, we just put the batteries in there. So we're going to turn the transmitter on. You can see a little green symbol there, green dot. That's actually just a sticker. It's not a light. But it does have a light up here indicating that the transmitter is on. Now, if you'll notice, I have the Summit sitting on a stand, or it's actually an old peanut jar, but it's holding the vehicle up so that the wheels can spin and the vehicle won't try to take off. I'm doing this primarily because I'm working on a workbench. Especially when you first start up an RC vehicle that's new and not been tuned, you want to make sure that the vehicle is tied down or not going to take off on you, because depending on the trim settings and so forth, it could try to take off and may damage itself or may hurt someone or hurt you or whatever. So just be careful. So I recommend putting the vehicle up on some sort of stand like I've done. So with that being said, we have our transmitter on. Now the Traxxas EVX2, that's the speed controller, it uses this button here to turn the vehicle on. So I'm going to depress that, and you have to hold it for like a half a second, and now that is on. You can see the red light is on, and you can see the lights are on. Alright, so we have the power on, sitting on our stand. Now we're going to slowly turn the throttle on. And there you go, you can see it running. Now when you first start up an RC vehicle, don't go out and full blast it, through the woods and the fields and the streams and everything else. Take it easy on it. Let it kind of break itself in, wear the gears in, wear the motor in. You don't want to abuse it. Just like buying a brand new car, you don't go out and drive a brand new car 100 miles an hour. You take it easy for a while, let all the gears lap in and so forth. So same thing with RC vehicles. They're expensive and they're an investment, in my opinion, and you should take care of them. So anyway, enough preaching. So you can see now we have reverse. If I push the throttle backwards, and if I pull it towards my hand, I have forward. My steering works, so that looks good. And then I'm going to check my diff lock. This is really cool. This vehicle is really awesome because it has so many servos on it. I kind of lose track of how many servos it actually has. It actually has 5 servos. We can count them here. It's one steering servo. Then we have the diff lock servo for the front. We have a diff lock servo for the rear, which is here. And then here we have the high-low range servo. And then, of course, on the far side, we have the other steering servo. So it has dual steering servos. Plenty of power to move those big tires. So next thing we can look at, of course, on our radio is this steering trim. And this looks to be a little off. It's like the servos aren't centered on the bell crank the way that it should be set up. Probably a setting problem from the factory. So these bell cranks are splined to the servo, and they probably need to be taken off and adjusted. So I'll probably end up doing that and may make a video of that later. This is just an initial startup to make sure all systems are go, basically a system check. And then I'll do some more detailed video on doing suspension adjustment, such as toe in and camber, and possibly also the shock settings, because there is some issues there that need to be straightened out. But so far so good. Everything looks like it's running great. There's high speed, and then we can go into low range. I'm actually amazed how bad the tires are in terms of out around, and I suppose it's just because they're these big squishy monster truck tires. I might try to work with those and take those off the rim, and if I do, I'll make a video of that as well. So that's our initial startup procedure. So far everything looks good, systems are a go, and next time I'll make a quick video of possibly doing the suspension setup. I think that'll be my next thing I address. So anyway, thanks for watching another Project King video. Please subscribe, please leave comments, and we'll see you next time.